with a solar PV attaining a maximum efficiency of around 27%, only at the expense of cost. What do you think? Will a common man be able to afford it, or is it necessary, or something like that?
Well, first of all, I mean, when it comes to solar, many people have many misconceptions. And somehow, when it comes to solar, people become scientists, economists, environmentalists, everything they become, So, for example, many people say efficiency of solar cells should increase. I said, okay, great. Before I answer that, tell me one thing in your life which you have done based on efficiency. Is there anything? Are you driving vehicle based on efficiency? Are you consuming food based on the efficiency? Are you using refrigerator based on the efficiency? नहीं. जीवन में कभी efficiency के बारे में सोचा नहीं होगा, पढ़ा नहीं होगा. पर जब solar cell की बात आएगी, sir, efficiency. That's not required. Realize that we do not do things because of efficiency. That's not our priority. It is never a priority. Why in case of solar it is? It's only priority for a scientist who is doing research on solar cell. That's it. For a aam aadmi user, he has nothing to do with efficiency. Whatever happens inside, it is already accounted in terms of cost. So, we do not need 25% solar cell. We can do with 18%, 17%, whatever is commercially available. Why not? What is the problem? Only in very, very rare cases, like in satellite, when you are sending it and your space is limited. In a very rare cases, when you are constrained by space, you actually require higher efficiency. Otherwise, you are not. Whatever is cheaply commercially available, use it. That's it. So, efficiency should never be a parameter of concern for any user of energy. And it is actually never. But somehow, I don't know from where society got to know efficiency is important before using solar energy. It is not.
What other areas could we add solar to make India sustainable? For example, my friend and his family had gone to Hadgad in Maharashtra. Then he saw that the street lamps or small street lamps all have solar. Even the car parking, the roofs are solar. So, will this be applied to crowded areas?
Well, first of all, it is not our choice to choose solar for some application and not for others. We cannot afford to choose it. As I told, climate clock is ticking, which means the amount of carbon dioxide that is emitting is very fast, and how much more we can emit is very limited now. There is only about 370 billion tons of carbon dioxide that we can still emit before we touch global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. Which means we do not have time, and I keep showing the climate clock, So as per that, you see there, 7 years and 203 days is the time left before we reach global warming of 1.5 degrees centigrade. That's it. So, and beyond that, the climate change will start to become irreversible. So there is no time left, and it is super urgency, which I again think that our governments, our politicians, our officials, they are not fully sync with this idea. So we are running out of time. So can we choose to use solar for street light and this and not for this and that? No. I believe today we do not have choice. We need to correct our energy problem. I said the game has gone wrong, and we need to go to the center of the sun, and everything that we require energy, we should run on solar. Everything. So our kitchen should run on solar. Our vehicle should run on solar. Our lighting, electricity requirement should run on solar. Well, we have 7 years, 8 years. So start taking a drastic measure from today. And so that in 1 year time, 2 years time, 3 years time, 4 years time, 5 years time, whenever feasible, convert yourself into solar 100%. And therefore one of the important mission of my yatra, there are two missions. One is to bring energy literacy to 1 billion people. Second is get 100 million people out of the grid. We are asking them to surrender electricity connection. बिजली connection छोड़ना. 1 करोड़ घरों से बिजली connection कटना. So it means that it is indeed possible that all our needs can be fulfilled with solar. Everything. And there are many examples. My bus is an example. Right? I am living in this bus for 13 months and everything is running on solar. The light, fan, kitchen, everything. I have developed a campus in Madhya Pradesh which is 14-acre campus called Education Park. It has been built in 2010, 14 acre. Since then till today there is no electricity connection. It runs 100% solar. So it is very much possible to switch to solar 100%. If you are in some very crowded cities, and you have constructed a 50-story tall building, and now you say that everybody should get a solar. That is not possible. There are other means of doing it. There are other open access policies that government is offering that you can generate somewhere else and bring it somewhere else. Those things are possible and you can do it. But we do not have choice to choose solar for this and not for this. We have to go 100% on solar as soon as possible within 7 years, 8 years time.
As you just said that this bus runs, the appliances runs on solar. So do you also think that intercity buses like from Mumbai to Ahmedabad or Mumbai to Pune, they can run on solar using all the ACs and all those things on solar?
But technically, definitely it can run, and if there is enough storage, you can charge them at one point, take them to the other city and charge it there. Technically, definitely it is possible. But I have a problem in assuming that everything that we are doing as it is, we should convert into solar. That is another problem, and which is not doable and feasible. So what people feel that everything, the way I am living today, I can convert into solar as it is and live sustainably. Not possible. And as I said, there are fundamental rules you cannot violate. So fundamental rule is limit your consumption, localize your production. So when you are going to solar, the first thing you should do is limit your consumption. Otherwise, as the modern humans keep doing, solve one problem and create one more problem. No, that is wrong. If you are solving one problem and creating one problem more, you are in balance. What we are doing is actually solving one problem and creating two problems. And therefore the balance is lost. So first you have to limit your consumption. So when we say AC and all air conditioned bus, the first question is why should it be air conditioned? Why should it be air conditioned? Why can't person stay three hours in a bus without air conditioning? We can have fan, efficient fan, this fan, everything can be done. So these are the fundamental questions we keep asking. Is it really avoidable or not? If it is avoidable, let us avoid, because there is no manufacturing in this world which is fully sustainable. There is no manufacturing in the world which does not have side effect or environmental impact. Even if it is solar energy. To purify materials and making materials and then producing and making modules and making electronics and batteries and then disposing all this, end of the life itself as a energy consumption, chemical consumption, itself as a carbon footprint, environmental impact. Therefore the first question we should ask ourselves before even generating solar energy is, how can I avoid it? How can I minimize it? And then only generate it. So I made this rule called AMG: avoid, minimize and generate. First avoid use of energy by 1/3, then minimize use of energy by another 1/3, and only generate 1/3. Then we are sustainable. Otherwise, switching solar energy 100% as it is not sustainable. There is a very famous saying in India: 900 चूहे खा के बिल्ली हज को चली, है ना? इतना सोलर लगा लिया और फिर बोले मैंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, सस्टेनेबल किया। नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। तो 900 चूहे खा के बिल्ली हज को चली वाला काम नहीं करेंगे, नहीं करना चाहिए। और ये तभी पॉसिबल है जब हम हमारी हर जरूरत को रीथिंक करें, रीडिजाइन करें, तब जाके हम सस्टेनेबल हो सकते हैं। Just telling the word sustainably 108 times is not going to make it sustainable. है ना? उससे नहीं होने वाला। समझना पड़ेगा, सोचना पड़ेगा, रीडिजाइन करना पड़ेगा, रीथिंक करना पड़ेगा. Then and then only there is some chance to make our life sustainable.
We at Team SHUNYA are a group of young passionate students who have joined hands together for a sustainable future with the help of innovation in the field of housing. So we are focusing on building a net zero building and also have been quite successful in it. Do you think we could mass produce these buildings in India, solar buildings?
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's not that we can mass produce it, but I think we should mass produce it. You know, and I have created another nickname. I call it Sun Homes. sustainable no grid homes. So not only that they are sustainable, but no connection with outside, because it's very important to generate locally. That's the whole idea of energy Swaraj. And when you design it right from the day one, when you use very efficient appliances, when you use solar passive architecture into your design, your energy requirements are really low. The school that I was talking about, that since 2010 there is no electricity connection, that is designed on solar passive architecture. That is no electricity consumption from outside. So it is very much, and that's a 14-acre campus. That's very much possible. So it is not that we can mass produce it, but I think we have to mass produce it. Because going forward, if our energy consumption increase with this rate, and if it is continuously coming from fossil energy, I think we do not see a very bright future for humans on this planet.
Will the Indian public be willing to make such an investment in solar houses?
Well, I said it's not a matter of choice.
Yeah.
You know, I keep giving example. If you get unfortunately if you get an heart attack, will you make an investment to go to doctor? You know, will you have choice? No, there's no choice. It's an emergency. You will run and you will borrow and you will steal, and whatever you can do, you'll go to doctor. Today the climate change is an emergency. There is no choice whether you'll do it or not. If you at all want to live happily and survive on this planet, if you want human life to be sustainable, you have to do it right now. Time is running out. And I keep crying and shouting about this fact that time नहीं है ये सोचने का कि करना है कि नहीं करना ही है. If नहीं करेंगे तो clock is ticking. What will happen when the global warming goes beyond 1.5 degrees centigrade or 2 degrees centigrade? What will happen? There'll be more floods, more droughts, more heat waves, more storms, more sea level rise, reduction in food production. Who is going to bear all these problems? Everybody. You are not untouched from the nature. You are going to pay for it. And I keep giving example. Nature is not going to kill you just like that. No, it will kill you slowly. So if you do not behave right now, nature तड़पा के मारने वाली. तो करना ही पड़ेगा, choice नहीं है. And many times I feel, and that's why I'm so thankful to Corona, that if I explain probably, people will not understand. But when nature comes and it shows एक झापट ना, एक क्या बोलते हैं तमाचा पड़ता है, तब जाके से अरे गड़बड़ है ना. जब चेन्नई में बाढ़ आती तब चेन्नई के लोगों को लगता है अरे गड़बड़ है. समझदार आदमी वो होता है जो दूसरों की गड़बड़ देख के पता चल जाएगी गड़बड़ है. बट नेचर का जब तमाचा पड़ेगा तो you have to understand it. There's no choice. So we do not have time. We cannot choose to do it or not do it. We have to do it. We have to correct our energy. So it is now or never wali situation. It's do or die wali situation. And it is said that this decade, from 2021 to 2030, is the last decade of action. If you do not take right action right now, it will become too late to reverse the climate change. This is the last decade of action.
What is some advice that you would like to give us in our run for solar?
Well, I would say that, all those people who are in their 50s and 60s, they will die in another 20, 30, 40 years. They are not going to bother about you.
Yeah.
But all the young guys, they should bother about themselves now.
Yes.
At least. Because you are the one who are going to suffer and bear and enjoy whatever जो भी लिखा होगा. So, take situation in your control. Start living that sustainable life. First of all, understand what is sustainability. And very simple, sustainability is income equal to expenditure. That's it. That is sustainability. जितना कमाई उतना ही खर्चा. तो nature का income देखो क्या है. Live within those expenses. Otherwise, you are not sustainable. So start living sustainably right now. Become an example. Become a role model, and spread that role model as fast as possible to others. Because climate change, carbon dioxide doesn't know boundaries. If you are not sustainable, if you are sustainable but your neighbor is not sustainable, you are still paying for it. So carbon dioxide emission हुआ तो सबको बराबर भुगतना है. तो ये सिर्फ अपना खुद से sustainable होने से पर्याप्त नहीं है. That's why I'm doing my yatra. I could have myself made a very sustainable life in this house and that house. That is not enough. You have to ensure that this goes to everybody and everybody becomes sustainable. So then only you can be sustainable. So start living yourself, become the torch bearer, become the the lead in this. And every young person should do that so that we can create a sustainable future. And it is very important that every individual on this planet to become sustainable, adopt a sustainable life, if at all we want a sustainability of human life on this planet. So that is the advice I would like to give, that the elders are not going to care for you, because they are anyway going to go. You are going to stay back, take care of yourself.
Any inputs from Prabhat?
It's been good to hear it from you. Like we being a Team SHUNYA are already trying to develop the solar home which you're saying. But for us, especially for some climatic condition of India, it's been difficult to develop a standalone home which can run only on the solar, because there are some like autonomy thing is there. So, and if we go for the battery thing, then the cost could be high and we can't take that much backup. So somehow we have to manage the thing by grid, like when we are generating in excessively. So what will be your input in that case? How can we develop a standalone house?
First of all, your assumption that it cannot be done is a wrong assumption. Absolutely wrong assumption. When look at the country like Germany. Germany gets only 40% of the radiation that we get in India. Look at the amount of solar they are using. Who's saying it is wrong? Have you looked at the solar radiation data everywhere? Go to any part of the country. Even during the monsoon, the amount of solar radiation, except the coastal area, is still 60-70% of the average solar radiation. Which means even in monsoon, you can generate 60-70% of your electricity needs. Second thing, in the monsoon, your needs also goes down. The fan needs not to run as fast as it is otherwise required. So your load is also becoming less. So therefore, this assumption that you cannot generate 100% on solar throughout the year is a very wrong assumption. And my bus showed, I've been living in this bus for 1 year, the campus that I am talking is running for more than 1 year. So that is not correct. You design system in a manner that even during the monsoon time, even during the winter time, you fulfill your needs 100%. Now this question of cost, first of all, a typical house, you will anyway spend 30 lakh rupees, 40 lakh rupees, 50 lakh rupees. If you cannot spend 2 lakh rupees on solar system, which is the main source of energy we are going to running house, is that very expensive? 2 lakh in 30 lakh rupees? No, it is not. So, and I guarantee you, give me any house, 4 people, 5 people house, guarantee you 2 lakh rupees, you run 100% 12 months in a year. So this is a problem. In fact, that is the whole problem that many bureaucrats and policymakers do not even understand that is not correct. What you are saying, solar radiation data does not tell you that it is correct. So if your radiation goes by 30% in the winter or monsoon, what you do? Plan for additional 30% of solar panel, 40% solar panel, which has become very cost effective. Just spend 2 lakh and all your full requirements will fulfill all throughout the year. So that assumption is not correct, and therefore I strongly believe if you are grid connected, you are not really becoming sustainable. You becoming so-called sustainable. Feel good factor. अच्छा लगेगा मन को, हाँ हमारे घर पे भी छत पे भी सोलर है. नहीं. And I go around many places, many institutions से हमारी छत पे सोलर है. कितना है, कितना जनरेट करता है, कितना %, nobody has any idea. So this is only a feel good factor. The real sustainable thing is you do not take anything from outside. Then what will happen? You become disciplined user of energy. Rule number 1, avoid the use. If you are grid connected, क्वेश्चन नहीं है कब पंखा चालू है, कब बंद है, नहीं है, कम है, ज्यादा है. So you tend to miss. Every grid connected person tends to misuse energy, guaranteed. So therefore it is not good idea to actually be grid connected. Like second thing, why it is not good idea? Because you are grid connected. When you need energy, the whole country has to work all its infrastructure to supply you electricity. So you need power plant. So because of your power plant is still working. So you need transmission distribution lines. So because of all transmission distribution lines have to be maintained. You need to still import. You are still emitting carbon dioxide in the night. So that's not this is so-called sustainability. I don't think that's only comfort level people go. No, that is not correct. Becoming independent of energy from the grid is real sustainability. Solar technology with a country like India with so much of sunshine can 100% fulfill your needs except coastal areas. Coastal area may not be the right choice, because then the coastal areas, the cloudy condition, the dark condition can stand for very long. But people actually can manage with a higher generation in coastal area also. But I think except the, let's say 15%, 20% geography, 80%, 85% country can 100% be self-sufficient in terms of energy 12 months in a year.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure meeting you, and it was a very great discussion.
Thank you, and let us change the meaning of Shunya. Shunya is not net zero. That doesn't make you really, real Shunya. Shunya is when you do not take anything from outside. That is real Shunya. So get out of your comfort zone कि net metering करके शून्य हो जाएंगे. Get out of that and become real, no connection from outside. Zero connection. That is real Shunya, I would suggest. And it is very much possible, feasible. Technology is available today. Battery efficiency is increasing, cost is decreasing, panel cost is decreasing. So it is very much possible that we become like that. And as I said, one of my objective of Yatra is to bring 1 crore families off the grid in urban areas. So it is very much possible, and you people can do it. So wish you all the best, and
Yes,
become real Team Shunya. Thank you.